The light that you shine can't be seen. Baby, I compare you to a kiss from a rose on the grave.
Well, I don't know about you guys, but I just got kissed by a rose, and I'm excited to talk about Batman. Welcome to PodPast.
You've been holding that one in all week, haven't you?
I thought about that all week. I was like, oh, that's clever. But this is Jordan, along here with Brother Brandon.
Brother Brandon here. How you guys doing?
Good. And best friend Ryan.
Hello, everybody.
And tonight we're talking about everything Batman, starting from the 1966 movie and TV show and ending with Batman Begins. Because if you are a fan of the show, then you know that we cannot talk about anything past 2006. So Batman Begins ends in 2005.
Thank goodness, because I don't know how much more I can talk about The Dark Knight.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? I mean, Dark Knight's great. I love it. And but mostly I just do what best friend Ryan says. I just go to YouTube and watch the best scenes, and I'm good.
Exactly.
Which is mostly Joker, unfortunately, in a Batman movie. But before we get into everything, we're going to talk about all these forms of media here of Batman in order. But I kind of wanted to see what everybody's opinion was about their favorite Batman. Now, I know that there's a favorite Bruce Wayne and a favorite Batman, but I'm just curious about your favorite Batman. So, best friend Ryan, what actor has been your favorite Batman so far?
My favorite actor is Christian Bale. I really like Christian Bale. I think he does. I think he does a very, very good job as Batman. Are we going to include Ben Affleck? I know that's 2016, so that's
no, we
way
can't.
Past. Okay.
Yeah, we cannot. Yeah, Bale's the last we can talk about
okay.
here.
But I grew up with Kevin Conroy, the voice actor for Batman the Animated Series. I think he is the best because if you add the cartoon plus Mask of the Phantasm and his work with the Arkham Asylum games, I feel he is by far the best Batman.
Brother Brandon, who is the best Batman for you? Without a doubt, Kevin Conroy.
Wow.
I can still remember the Saturday morning cartoons on Fox Kids, and when Batman came on, the animated series, that was my introduction to Batman. Long before comics, long before any graphic novels, or any of the actual movies, to be honest. The animated series that is my Batman. Every time I read a comic now, I still hear Kevin Conroy's voice. Like, it's just who I hear now, and to me, he's the pinnacle.
Wow, interesting. Okay, I was just curious what you guys thought. I never thought both of you would answer Kevin, but okay, I was shocked. We're going to start it off with...
Hold on.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite?
Yeah.
I don't have one. That's my biggest problem.
You love them all so much, you can't choose?
No, it's kind of like a 50-50. I am two faces of this matter.
Oh, shit.
Are you going to be doing this all night?
No, I thought of that one earlier this week, too. I'm full of bat puns.
He's got all these written down on a memo pad.
He's sitting there thinking, like, okay, how can I fit I'm sly like a cat into this conversation?
Anyway, I'm actually kind of proud of myself. I just pulled the two faces out of my ass there. I like that one. No, actually, you know what? Quite honestly, I like them all. It's what I love about Batman is the fact that every decade or every era, I would say, we get a Batman that represents the time that it's currently in. And I mean, like, I was Christian Bale is very good as Batman. But Val Kilmer didn't do a terrible job wearing the cape and cowl. Michael Keaton, I did not have a problem with either. I mean, George Clooney had its moments, but then when he pulled out the Bat credit card, life kind of ended for me. But I don't know what my favorite is. But if I guess gun to my head, I would actually probably say Kilmer. I actually like Kilmer a lot as Batman.
That's very interesting.
Not as Bruce Wayne, not as Bruce Wayne, as Batman.
See, I forgot to even mention because I wasn't quite sure if we were allowed to incorporate voice actors, but right there with Kevin Conroy, I think should be mentioned Diedrich Bader from Batman: Brave and the Bold. I don't know if you guys have seen that cartoon. If you've seen that series,
yeah, I've seen some episodes.
My God, that is I bow to the ankles of that show. It's perfect. Diedrich Bader. That's another voice actor I think that handled the character perfectly.
I've seen a few episodes, but quick question before we continue on with the actual bulk of the show: is Kevin Conroy is he the voice for Batman Beyond as well?
Bruce in that show, yes.
Yes, he is. Okay, I was just curious if he was or not. So we're gonna start the show off with Batman '66. The show and the movie. Brutally honest with you guys, I've never seen an episode of the show. I've only seen the movie. No, well, I mean, I've seen clips on YouTube, but actually sit down and watch a whole episode, never seen it. I've seen enough what I needed to get from 66. I will tell you right now, Batman 66 is worse than Batman and Robin. I don't like Batman 66. That's my difference.
I think the difference between Batman 66, because I honestly don't think. All right, so I know that Batman and Robin is not a good movie, but it is enjoyable. All right, and I think that they're both equally that. Like they're both. I don't think the 66 version is good, but I think for the time it was made, it's pretty good. Because that's what it was. That's what Batman was at the time. Like even in the comics, he was campy. So the movie being just as this is a TV show, it's an offshoot of the TV show. It was campy, and that's what people wanted.
Yeah, well, a lot of that too. To go off you, Ryan, when you said the comics were campy, a lot of that had to do with the CCA as well. Which, for someone who may not know, the CCA is the Comics Code Authority. And they took over around that time period. And, for instance, one of the biggest comic lines to take a hit was EC Comics. So you people would probably remember them as Tales from the Crypt, Haunt of Fear, Vault of Horror. They got a huge hit by the CCA, and so did a lot of the mainstream superheroes. Because before the CCA, Batman was treated as like a pulp hero, and Joker killed people, even Batman killed people in those comics. So it's interesting to see where for a brief
wasn't there a point,
10 to 15 years. Oh, go ahead.
A point somewhere. I can't remember exactly what year it was, but it was before the 60s where Batman actually carried a handgun.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that's in the era, of course, before the CCA. I think that was right around the time of the 40s and 50s. I would say 40s because 40s was a huge, especially in terms of media, that was the huge gangster pool, the huge, what's it called? The film noir movement in Hollywood. So I think that's when he was implemented the most with the gun.
Well then, yeah, because we did have those Batman serials. And if you fans are interested in YouTubing that, you can find Batman serials from the 40s, black and white or brown and white, depending on the color correction. Very bad. But nothing as bad as Batman 66, man, because, guys, I don't have my shark repellent today. It's bad.
Dude, I promise you, if you were to compare any episode of Batman 66 to any of those Batman serials, you would change your mind in a heartbeat. Those Batman serials are horrendous.
Oh, no, I've seen them. I just really hate 66 that much.
Really? You haven't even sat down and watched an episode, you said. You can't have a clear conscience on that.
I've seen the movie, and all I saw was acute angles and Caesar. What's his name? Caesar
Romero.
Caesar Romero. With I'm not shaving my French mustache, so fuck
Oh.
you. And it's like
Spanish.
Oh, God, it's whatever. I just.
It's Romero.
I mean,
Ah.
you got to think, Jordan, though, that the actors and actresses in the show at the time, they were some big names at the time. I mean, you even have Burgess Meredith as the Penguin. You have Vincent Price, one of my favorite actors of all time. He was Egghead. You got
Otto
Victor
Preminger.
Yeah.
They did Egghead in the TV show.
Oh yeah, Vincent
They
Price
ran,
was
like-
Egghead.
Yeah, they ran like 300 some episodes, didn't they? There's a shit ton of them. It's like 2 a week.
Wow, I did not know they had Eggman. I got to see that Vincent Price's Eggman episode. Then.
I mean, and then you even have, of course, probably one of the two best Catwomans. For season 1 and 2, you had Julie Newmar, who was Catwoman, and then season 3 is when Eartha Kitt came in. And then
Now-
a whole different Catwoman was for the movie. I think Lee something, I can't remember the last name.
Merriweather.
Yep, there it is.
Okay, so this is so racist. I apologize. Which one was the African American one?
Eartha Kitt.
Eartha Kitt.
She was the original.
No, she was season 3. Julie Newmar was season 1 and 2.
Wasn't that a big deal then, back then in the 60s, to cast a African American female then as a villain? Wouldn't that have been a big deal back then?
Probably was a big deal
Like-
to cast her in such a prominent role.
Yeah,
That's what
well,
I'm
you gotta.
asking. Yeah.
This is probably right off the boot heels of Star Trek because
Yeah, because that was in 66 too.
exactly where Lieutenant Uhura, I think's her name, where she was a black female actress who was part of the actual crew of the bridge in Star Trek. So I mean, I think when they brought in Eartha Kitt, it was just a sign of the movement. It was okay, Star Trek did it. Now we're gonna start showing people that we can be a part as well.
Yeah. You know what? Maybe I'm being too hard on Batman 66 because there are some lines in the movie that I'll never forget in my life. Like, some days you just can't get rid of a bomb. And and thank God that sacrificing suicidal porpoise saved our lives. Like, it's
Well, your
so
favorite-
crazy.
If I remember, Jordan, your favorite villain is Clayface, right?
Yes.
He actually makes an appearance in the show. Now, he's not the tar form, but his original first form, when he's known as False Face, he's in the show, and his name is still Basil Carlo.
Oh my God, is he really? Okay, then I got to YouTube that because Clayface is my favorite. But okay,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah, and
I've only
it's
ever seen. I've only ever seen a few episodes of it, the Otto Preminger episodes, and I've seen the Batman 66 movie. I'm not a huge fan of it, but I understand the appeal of it.
Right.
I'm not really into the whole campy Batman thing, but there are, like, the movie overall I don't think is good, but there are enjoyable moments to it.
No, I totally understand. I sort of agree with you, Ryan. I'm not the movie is sort of hard for me to get through. However, the TV show just splits me open, man. It kills me left. Batman is not. I like him a lot. I maybe put him in my top 10, but I don't even know if he's in my top 5. But I do appreciate him a lot. I love reading him a lot. So I've never been in that position where I have a definitive Batman. They all have sort of an appeal to me.
See so
do-
Batman is my favorite superhero, my favorite comic book character.
Okay.
Really like popular comic book character, like a character everybody would know essentially. I think why that is because the versatility the character has. It's like Superman,
Right.
you can't really tell like a super dark story with, like because he's supposed to be the light, the hope. He's supposed to be hope. That's what he is.
Unless he lands in Russia.
Yeah. See, I've been meaning to read Red Sun. I've never gotten around to it. But I hear it's really good. But like Batman, his whole reason for being is that he watched his parents be murdered in front of him when he was 10 years old.
No,
Like-
I totally get it. Like I appreciate the show. Like I have as much Batman stuff as I can collect. But overall, my favorite DC hero, probably my favorite hero of all time, is the Flash. He just has a little bit more one up on Batman to me. But I totally understand where you're coming from.
Huh. Well, you know what? Those are very solid points. I don't know. It's just, I grew up with another Batman, and when when I saw another Batman, and then my mother, of all people, was like, oh, well, this is what I grew up with, and I'm like, what? What? Because I came off of the '89 Batman, and I'm like, what is this? So I get it. I get its time and place. Adam West, rest in peace. But I just was not a fan.
No, I can totally get behind that too, man. Like I'm never going to be that person. Even with the Flash, like there's people who love Wally West more than Barry Allen, and I'm not going to disagree with that. Wally West did a lot of awesome things, and same thing with Jay Garrick, the first Flash. So I feel the same way with Batman. Even though I don't have a definitive Batman, if someone were to be like, oh, I just can't get behind the Batman 66, I'm not going to fault you for that. I totally understand. It's all about a product of when you grew up with him.
Since you talk about The Flash, just a little off topic, Steven Spielberg and Leonardo DiCaprio introduced me to The Flash. I'm just letting you guys know.
Catch me if you can.
Yeah.
That's a deep cut, Jordan. It's a deep cut.
It's a deep... Yeah. Yep. What do you mean it's a deep cut? You don't like that movie?
No, like you drew back. Like you went deep for that one.
No, I did, yeah.
Like that was a
because
connect the dots scenario.
It was.
Like I had to sit there and do math.
Yeah, because I didn't know really what The Flash was. I remember there was this segment on TV. I don't know what channel it was, boys. Maybe Sci-Fi. I can't remember. But growing up, they played Batman 66. They played the Hulk from the 70s. They played, I think there was a Flash show in the 70s or maybe early 80s, and there was a terrible Spider-Man show as well from the 70s.
Yeah, there's a lot.
There was a 90s Flash TV show.
Okay, 90s. But
yeah,
like I didn't know what Flash was, and then after watching Catch Me If You Can, when it first came out in 2001, where he called himself Barry Allen, I was like, oh, okay, I get it now. So anyway, but a movie that we could probably talk about, because we have a lot of movies to talk about, like we said in the beginning of the show, fans. Batman '89. I'm a big fan of pop culture. One of my favorite shows that I still watch to this day, even though it's not running currently, is I Love the 80s from VH1. All the episodes are on YouTube, so if you guys want to check it out, go ahead. But there's a segment of I Love the 80s, because in 1989 I was 2 years old. So I don't remember much. Hardly nothing at all.
In 1989.
You were not born. Neither was Brandon.
Yeah, me and Ryan, we were still swimming in a sack.
You guys were still swimming.
I was a twinkle in my father's nutsack. That's what I was.
Yes, he was. You guys were both born in 90. I was 2 in 89. But Batman, I got some interesting memories from Batman '89, because what I Love the 80s was saying, and when they said this, it kind of brought back these old memories of when the original poster came out, not a teaser poster, just the actual theatrical poster came out. It was a black background with a Batman symbol, and everybody knew what that meant. And it was supposed to be but it was meant to be the movie of the summer. Like, this was going to be huge. And I remember how I got my first copy of Batman. And this was back when McDonald's was cool, people. McDonald's was cool because, I don't know if you guys remember this or not, but at my local McDonald's in the 90s, with your Happy Meal, sometimes you would get a VHS tape.
Oh, yeah, I can kind of remember some of the advertisement on that. When they, because it stopped around, I think they probably stopped at around 97 or 98.
But I got the original Batman VHS tape from McDonald's, and
that's insane.
I watched it, and
the movie, like the actual movie.
Yeah. Oh, dude. I mean, like, they gave you. I'm sorry. They would give you, because I remember this one too. This was a weird one. They gave you Charlotte's Web. So what it was like this. It was like this thing, because like Batman and McDonald's just kind of went hand in hand in the 90s, especially later on in the discussion that we're going to talk about. But but it was a thing for the Happy Meals. I mean, like you guys can Google it, and also the fans Google this. It's interesting because McDonald's would do that. They would tie in. So what they would do is you would buy the Happy Meal for your kid for what 90s prices, $3, let's just say, and then if you want, and then you can spend $5 and get the VHS of Batman or something like that.
That's a
Or
good deal.
whatever.
Hell
or
yeah.
$10 or whatever it was. But that was the thing. So I watched '89 Batman through and through all the time. Jack Nicholson was scary. He was charming. Michael Keaton was probably even scarier to a young boy because of the cape and cowl. But what an interesting take that Tim Burton did, because we all know now that Tim Burton does not like Batman. So
Right.
it's so interesting how he did this, because the opening of Batman '89, it seems like that he was trying to retell the origin story, but not really.
Well, I
You know what
mean, he's gone on record to say before, I don't know if he actually dislikes Batman. He's always gone on record to say he dislikes comics, only because he sometimes equates it to maybe dyslexia, but he always had a hard time as a kid trying to determine which box to read next. So one of the first comics that got him into wanting to pretty much read comics and then get into Batman was Frank Miller's The Killing Joke. Or not Frank Miller,
Alan Moore.
Yeah,
Alan Moore.
thank you. when he read,
something.
right. Killing Joke, I guess, because he explained it as being like the panels then were so easy to read that was the first time he ever could read through a comic, and it was, of course, between Batman and Joker, so that's what influenced him.
So do you guys feel that Batman '89 is the definitive Batman movie? I mean, like, is this movie really nostalgic gold, or is this movie just okay nowadays? I mean, like, really, is this movie good or not?
Well, so I didn't watch the first Batman until I was probably like 8 or 9, somewhere around there. And I can remember as a kid not really enjoying the movie because there's not a whole lot of action. Like Jack Nicholson's, I can remember thinking Jack Nicholson was pretty cool and that Vicky Vale was pretty. But like the movie overall, I didn't think was interesting because there's not a whole lot of action in it. You know, there's not a whole lot of stuff for kids.
Right, yeah.
Well,
I mean, go ahead, Jordan.
no, I was just gonna say what always turns the point for me when I was a kid growing up was when Batman and Joker faced off in the art studio. That's when the movie got good.
See, man, '89 Batman, it didn't come till much later. I think I actually kind of remember you had the 4-pack set, I think. Or no, you had the 3-pack set, Jordan, because I don't think Batman and Robin was out yet. But you had Batman Returns, and Batman Forever. And Returns and Forever is what I saw most. It wasn't actually till maybe mid-teens that I actually sat down and watched '89 Batman in its entirety. And I thought it was okay. Still to this day, I think it's okay. A lot of people have a lot of praise towards it. And again, like what we explained with Batman '66, I can totally understand why. Like if that was the era, if you were 18 or even in your early 20s and you went and saw this in the theater, of course, man, this is going to be the definitive Batman for you in terms of movie, you know. I can understand.
Well, okay, so on that, what is it for both of you guys about Batman '89 that's just not good? I mean, like, what does not appeal? What is the issues with Batman '89 that you guys don't like? Best friend Ryan, go ahead. I mean, like,
I don't really have any issues with it now. I actually watched it for the first time in a long time, probably like 2 or 3 months ago, and like Brandon said, it's okay. I don't think it's like looking at it now and what like the types of films that we get now. I don't think it's anything special. But for that time, you know, when comic book movies weren't a thing really, and they actually put for what at the time was a decent chunk of change into a Batman film. I think that in that era, for the people who grew up with the comics in the '80s, like the Frank Miller stuff, like it's great for them. But me, I didn't have that knowledge. You know, I didn't have that base coming from
Right.
because like I watched the cartoon, which the cartoon a lot of it was inspired and based off the imagery from that movie. but that movie and the cartoon series, animated series, they're not really the same thing. So for me, that's why it wasn't like it's okay. Like I didn't think much of it then. I still don't think much of it now, but I don't think it's a bad movie.
Brother Brandon, what about you? I mean, like, is there anything about the Batman '89 that just does not sit well with you, or?
Okay, even though, like I said, I appreciate, I don't want to say love Batman, but I do like Batman a lot. And one of the things I like about Batman is his standards, his values. In this movie, and in previous things, I actually don't like it when Batman kills people. I think that's the one big no-no. I think every person who's going to go in to do a Batman story, whether it's comic or movie, you don't kill people. And I think even then when I was watching it, once I got around to watching Batman '89, there's clear evidence where he flat out kills people.
Oh, he kills a bunch of dudes. Especially at the end where he's fighting his way up the bell tower. He kills a lot of dudes.
And it's that gets under my skin because, to me, that is the number one core value of Bruce himself and of Batman. That's because Batman said time and time again, I don't kill because if I do, there's no telling if I could bring myself back. And so that's why he doesn't cross that threshold. So when other properties do it, when they have him just flat out kill people, I'm just like, come on, man. Like, it's almost verbatim. Like, that's the number one thing you should go in being, okay, this is what we don't do. And the movie flat out does it. So that's probably the one main thing that gets under my skin.
I mean, nothing really got under my skin with Batman '89. We know that I have a daughter, and when she gets a little bit older and she can understand these kind of movies, I'm going to show her Batman '89 first before anything. This is Batman, sweetie. I'm not saying that it's the greatest Batman movie of all time. It is definitely not my favorite. But I don't have any really complaints about it. But then segue into the next one. My favorite Batman movie of all time is Batman Returns, which came out in 1992. The movie that made McDonald's pull their toys.
I don't remember that.
Oh my God! This was a huge.
Well, I was
deal.
I was 2 when the movie came out, so of course I wouldn't remember it.
So Batman Returns is clearly a different film from Batman '89. Would you guys agree with this? I mean, it's definitely darker, right? It's definitely Tim Burton-y.
It's
aesthetically.
Yeah, I feel. Right? I think that Returns is just a darker version of the first one, like with thematically darker.
It was so dark that people got pissed. Parents got pissed and said, "How dare you sell Penguin toys in a Happy Meal?" And McDonald's pulled the Penguin toys. They pulled Batman Return toys. That was an issue. And to all their fans, Google this. This is some interesting information about how just people were pissed. They were boycotting McDonald's, saying they will never go to McDonald's again. Because
whatever. Their fat asses were right there the next morning.
Oh, of course they were getting those Egg McMuffins.
It's like this. It's like what's going on with the whole NFL right now. I think that's fantastic. Like I keep seeing these things in my Facebook feed. Oh, I'm never gonna watch NFL again. Oh, I'm done with the Cowboys. Blah blah blah. So I was like, no, you're not. You're gonna tune in on Sunday. It's what you're gonna do.
Fantasy football still is the way it is, right? No, it's just Batman Returns, because Batman '89, which I never understood this, because Batman '89 was not made for kids. It was a PG-13 superhero, literally killed guys. But then all of a sudden, the studio gives Tim Burton free rein to do whatever he wants, and he makes a very interesting, good movie, in my opinion. And he makes a very, very dark Penguin character. And because it's so dark, parents are like, nope, can't watch it. Can't watch this. This one is too grown up for you. But if you really watch Batman Returns now, it could be argued as a darker version, but there's a lot of kiddie things in this. Like Penguin rigging Batman's car, and he's driving around in a mini Batmobile controlling Batman's car. I mean, come on, guys.
I mean, it's
kid-fied.
What I find interesting about that is why that movie? You know what I mean? Considering that the 70s is actually when Batman started getting dark again with writer Dennis O'Neil, is when he started bringing Batman back into a darker spotlight. And then, of course, in the 80s with Frank Miller. So it's like you have 2 whole decades of Batman crossing into a more darker, brooding threshold. And this is the movie that, you know what I mean, that people want to pick apart. This is the property that people want to pick apart. It's asinine.
Well, maybe because of this, because you guys were not born yet in '89. For Batman '89. So Batman '89 was just a huge blockbuster success. I mean, it was a huge summer blockbuster. The best superhero movie since the original Superman, if I'm correct, because I don't think Howard the Duck even comes close to that, boys.
All right,
Well, there is
so,
duck boobs.
Fact. Batman set the opening weekend record when it came out, and it was the highest-grossing film of '89.
Okay. Woo. So then a few years later, when they come out with the sequel, those little kids that probably couldn't go see the original, are now old enough to see the original. The parents want to take them. And I'm sure the parents who takes their 7-year-old to see Batman does not like the opening of Pee Wee Herman dumping a kid down a sewer. And I'm sure they get all pissed off about that, I bet. By the way, did you guys know that was Pee Wee Herman in the beginning? Penguin's dad?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I had no idea when I was a kid.
My mom told me that. She pointed that out.
Paul
To me. She's
Rubens,
like, that's Pee Wee. That's Pee Wee Herman. Remember that movie we watched with the bicycle? Yeah, it's Pee Wee Herman.
I never do. I mean, what do you guys think? I mean, do you guys agree at all? Do you guys have an opinion on Batman Returns as probably one of the best Batman movies that we've gotten, or?
Again, it's I'd put it in the same ballpark as Batman '89. I'd say it has an edge more, only because I think aesthetically it's gorgeous. The architecture, how everything is just treated. I like that it takes place in Christmas, like that holiday setting. It just gives it a really nice juxtaposition, I think, in terms of everything that's around it that's really dark. Again, I don't know. It's not one I watch all the time, but it is my wife Shariah's. It's one of her favorite films of all time. So when she watches it, of course I'm drawn to it only because DC is my favorite of the two. Between DC or Marvel, I'd rather latch onto DC. It's just more interesting characters to me. So I'm always watching something DC, and I don't know. It's hard for me to judge because the thing that the Batman I was really into is coming up. These 2 films, I wasn't old enough, and I didn't catch them till much later when I already had other Batmans in my arsenal.
Best friend Ryan, do you actually agree with that statement, or I mean, what's your opinion on the overall of Batman Returns?
I feel like me and Brandon kind of had the same childhood in regards to Batman. Because are you gonna that comment you made, is that about Batman Forever?
Yeah,
that's the one I've seen the most.
Yeah, me too.
I think that I remember watching as a kid Batman Returns and thinking it was I liked it more than Batman '89 because I really dug the Penguin. I thought he was super interesting because he was cartoony, but he wasn't as
oh yeah,
he wasn't.
And then of course
it wasn't
ahead.
the Joker's cartoony. It was a different type of I guess camp now is what you would call it. But I also thought that Catwoman was like the greatest thing for a while.
Oh
she
my
was
God,
a sex
she still
symbol.
is.
But yeah,
I'm gonna show her my French flipper trick.
But I've never thought long and hard or super highly of Batman Returns. It's in the same ballpark now as Batman '89.
Right. I agree with Ryan. The only thing I would say is it has just a notch higher than '89, only because of the aesthetic. It's more visually pleasing to the eye, I think, than '89.
I think it goes down smoother too. I don't think there's as many slow spots because there's a lot of talking in '89. There's a lot of talking, and this one, I mean, there's more going on too because I think there's 3 main threads that are going throughout the movie as opposed to the 2 in the first one. But yeah, I think that's why for me too it's better because I think it's a more interesting film.
And one of the things I want to add before we get into the other segment of the show is why one of the reasons why I love Batman Returns so much is because in Batman '89 you can tell that it was a city. Yeah, it was on a backlot. We understand that, but it was open. It was brighter. When you get to Batman Returns, you can clearly tell this is a soundstage. This is in a warehouse somewhere. Very claustrophobic, Art Deco, German Expressionism. Like, just it's my kind of style of film.
Right.
And
I agree with you with that.
Oh, I loved it.
It almost feels like it practically felt like it was jumping off of a comic page at that point, and that's why I like it a little bit more.
With Batman '89, it looked like Tim Burton was trying to be too clever with mixing different clothing styles from the 40s and 50s and different cars from the 40s and 50s, but it takes place in '89. And then with Batman Returns, this is clearly 1950s, German Expressionism, city living kind of a direction here. And I always just liked how he did that. It was claustrophobic, and I really enjoyed it. But before we get into the big movie that we're all three going to probably talk about, the animated series came out after Batman Returns.
Oh,
and
yeah.
This was your guys' baby before the movie we're talking to in a second, but this was a big freaking show, guys. This was a big show.
Sweet ass it was.
Now, let's just be honest as we possibly can. This show is about nostalgia. We're nostalgic about certain things. Really, overall, is the Batman animated series really that loved, or is it just loved by individuals that are our age because of when it came out? I mean, is this respected as a good show?
I mean,
absolutely.
Yeah, it's highly respected. It's highly regarded as probably like the best visual Batman, like from a visual medium.
Oh yeah. And story-wise.
Television film. Yeah, no, it's super high. It's very well regarded. I think, though, that it's talked about mostly with people of our age, because, like, going back to what we talked about earlier about Batman '66, how it's, like, a certain era, and we said that, I said earlier that Batman '89 was great for that time, because that's what they were looking for and stuff. Mm-hmm. So for us, we grew up with it, and, that's the Batman we know. That's why we talk about it like it's this little, this precious little thing.
Even critically, Heart of Ice went on to win an Emmy.
Yeah, I think Mask of the Phantasm is the highest rated on Rotten Tomatoes, I think.
I wouldn't doubt it at all. Jordan. The animated series. I mean, hell, you have the first season of the show, and I ended up. Do you have any of those seasons, Ryan?
I had the last two, and I have a fun story. I was on the wrestling team in middle school and high school.
Yeah.
But I was god awful, super terrible at wrestling because I was not physically fit. I have been a larger person most of my life, and so my mom, in order to entice me to be better, would say, "I'll give you $1 for every point you get."
Okay.
And I remember this. I got lucky enough to wrestle a kid in Shawnee who was by far worse than me, and I was not good. I managed to get in a tournament a technical victory, which is where I score so many points. They're like, okay, the guy's not going to do anything. Let's just cut this off, And I think it's 11 points or might be 12 points. And then later on in that same tournament, I wrestled a kid who was about as good as me, which again is not good. But I was able to pin him, and so it was $1 for every point. Plus, I got $10 for a pin. So I took my winnings from that tournament. And I bought. I went to FYE. You guys remember FYE?
Oh yes.
Yeah, they were going. They were going out of business, and I got the last two seasons on DVD there for I think it was like $15 combined.
Damn, the going out of business sale. The only time you could afford something at FYE.
Yep. Yeah, because I got a Superman poster there. I got a Superman poster from there for $2. Like
nice.
A nice wall poster. Yeah, no, I have, and I don't know where they are because I've moved like 4 times since I bought them, so I don't know if I still have them or not. But I used to have them.
Hmm.
Oh yeah.
Just
Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say my little side note. The greatest find I ever got at FYE before they closed was for $2, and it was King Kong Lives with Linda Hamilton.
Ugh.
Great movie.
Ugh.
I'm just telling you, it was great. I still own it on DVD. It's in my bar. But anyway, continue, brother Brandon.
Oh no, I was just gonna say like the I don't know how else to explain Batman the animated series other than I think it's probably the closest for me anyway. It's probably the closest I'll ever get to handling actual gold. If that makes any sense. Like it's just I'm going to school for writing. I love writing, and whenever I need inspiration to write, it's one of the first things I go to. I have all 4 seasons, and I'll put in my favorite episodes. And like Paul Dini being one of the main writers, and Bruce Timm, like just seeing what they were able to create, and it's so inspirational. That is my Batman, and it's. There's some episodes that even make me cry. Like it's just handled that well, and it may sound stupid to someone because it's like, ain't that a cartoon? Well, yeah, man, but listen, how it was handled.
I cried it Inside Out.
Exactly. And it's just like that is what this show does to me. It was the show. I was on the fence with Batman growing up until this show, and I was like, okay, I get it. I know who this person is.
One of my favorite episodes of the Batman animated series, which is actually the first episode, the Man-Bat episode, is not only great, but, but terrifying.
The first episode on Leather Wings.
Yes. Oh my God, the Man-Bat episode, it's terrifying. Some scenes, it's like, oh my God, like there's literally a giant bat. Oh God, it scares us. I mean, it was good.
We should also point out 2 major things that the show did. Not only did it give us the birth of Harley Quinn, it also made Mr. Freeze the Shakespearean badass.
Yes, because Mr. Freeze used to be called Mr. Zero back in the day, and he was just a joke. And then this show alone got him to be so beloved, and then they gave us Batman and Robin. But yes, I agree. Harley Quinn, if you guys Brother Brandon, since you watched the old episodes, she was Joker's little, for lack of a better word, bitch. There's some episodes where he literally beats her up.
Oh yeah, and it always upsets me when you got people who are like, they post the memes of Joker and Harley, and they're like, I wish my relationship was like Joker and Harley's, and it's like, no, dum-dum, he beats her to shit. That's not a relationship you want.
He tortured her into insanity.
Right.
That's the kind of love I want.
Why not?
If you want any kind of love, you need to be Beast Boy and Raven. Now that's a true love.
Nice. But what is a true love is Mask of the Phantasm. That came out, Batman Mask of the Phantasm, that came out in between some seasons, and that told a whole new story of Batman, where a masked Phantom was were they killing people? Was the masked Phantom killing people? I haven't seen the movie in years.
Yeah.
But then you find out that the big reveal is that the Phantom is a woman, and she is,
well, spoilers.
Well, if you haven't seen it by now, it came out in like 95, 96. If you haven't, anyway, but the Phantom is a woman because what? She's the love of Bruce Wayne, right? What was the woman? What was her reasoning?
She's getting revenge on somebody for murdering her dad or something like that.
Yeah, I believe that's right. And it's one of the highlights of this movie is that it's one of the first times that we start seeing Bruce question whether or not he wants to be Batman anymore. That was one of the most pivotal moments of this movie. It was that he finally found what he thinks to be possibly true love. But he knows that he can't continue on with that love and still be the Batman. So it's this great dynamic of what does a hero do whenever he comes to that crossroads of, I don't want to be this anymore. Especially since, he's been told time and time again, which is here's another thing I love about Batman is when he's told time and time again that your presence is why you have such a large rogues gallery. You know what I mean? It's your presence is what's bringing out all these masked villains and these crazy individuals. So he comes to this point where he's just like, yeah, I've done good, but at the same time, I'm still causing harm just by simply being the Batman. So what happens if I come to a point where I can leave the cape and cowl? And that's what the movie does essentially overall. And it's beautifully done.
And you know what? And we're not going to talk about The Dark Knight, but to go on that point, Brandon, Heath Ledger's Joker does make that very clear in The Dark Knight, going on the mythology of Batman, where he says, "What am I going to do? Go back ripping off mob dealers? No, you complete me." You know what I mean? So it's the same thing with all of his villains. Is that if it wasn't for Batman, this villain wouldn't exist. And we've seen movies and cartoons and everything where sometimes Batman is accidentally involved in creating said villains.
Right. Well, I mean, there's even theories out there that even determines that Batman himself is just as criminally insane as the villains he fights. You know, because what sensible human being would put their body and mentally and physically put themselves through all that torture? You know, Bruce will never stop being Batman. It's impossible for him to be that. So that's another dynamic that I think is very interesting about him as well.
Do you guys remember before The Dark Knight Rises came out, there was something online about some doctor that actually went through, like, okay, so if Batman actually existed and all this happened, how long a human being in Christian Bale's kind of physical state could actually be Batman? Did you guys ever remember that article or read that?
No.
So there's this doctor, I always say Google it, but check this out sometime if you guys get a chance. But there was this doctor somewhere, it was before The Dark Knight Rises came out, about how can a person do this with the physicality of Christian Bale and everything. Let's say this actually happens. A person's body before totally giving out could only be Batman for a year and a half. And then,
I can kind of believe that.
and then the body just says, okay, fuck you. But I just thought that was interesting. So a year and a half of being Batman.
Right. Well, I mean, and I know this is, and Brian, if you have any points you want to speak up, just speak up, buddy. I don't want to keep talking over you or anything.
Oh, that's not a problem.
But I think even though it could be put into a farcical world, I think what also allows Bruce to continue in the shape that he is because you have this idea that he's putting himself in the top most physical shape he can be in. And that's another thing that I like about Batman too. Like, shit, now that we've had this podcast, he almost might just take the place of Flash.
Uh-oh.
No, I'm kidding. Nothing can take Flash, but he is such an interesting character. Mentally and physically, the death of his parents affected him so much that he told himself, I'm going to do everything I can to make myself better and then use those qualities to try and better humanity. And I don't know, that's, again, like, I think we're still on Mask of the Phantasm. So, I mean, that's another quality, too, that movie interprets. That's another part of the movie where you get to explore more of Bruce's past and everything he did. And then the dynamic between him and Alfred, like Alfred trying to tell him, Master Bruce, this is everything you've worked for. Like, just simply walking away from it is almost forgetting the memory of your parents and why you've done this. I don't know. If you haven't seen the movie, anybody, seek it out. I think it's probably the single most thing. If no one knows anything about Batman, put that movie in and you're going to be like, in an instant, you're going to be like, okay, now I can understand why people like this guy so much.
That's a very good point. And then a movie that you also can put in all the time is Batman Forever.
Baby, something with a rose near a grave.
Batman Forever. Oh my God. Now I know this was big for you guys. This was equally big for me. This came out in 1995. I was 8 years old and I was ready. This has everything that an 8-year-old boy in 1995 needed. It was Batman with some old guy playing a double face guy, but Jim Carrey's in it. Jim Carrey, Ace Ventura is in this. And then,
well, I mean, the 90s was Jim Carrey.
Right? And then all of a sudden, oh my God, you're so excited Jim Carrey's in it. And then you had this younger 25-ish Robin that you want to be, but then you grow up and you're like, I don't really want to do Kung Fu Laundry, but it's still cool. And, it's just, and it's like, hey, Master Wayne, I made dinner. I'll take drive-through. Badass. I mean, that's just, Batman Forever not only was the greatest movie of 95 for me, but this is when I start to, and Brandon, full circle, this is when I start to get into music. And everybody knows how much I know about music and love music, but this was the first CD I ever bought because...
Oh, shit.
It was an actual soundtrack of all these different bands. And I'm just telling you guys, who was on this record? I will tell you right now. U2, Seal, and Coolio.
Oh, shit.
Where else can you buy an album with Seal, Coolio, and U2? I do not know.
I'll tell you what. Batman fucking Forever, that's where you buy it.
You guys, both of you, best friend Ryan and brother Brandon, love Batman Forever because of the nostalgia, right? I mean, you guys were saying this was the big one, right?
Oh no, I didn't say I loved it. I'm saying it's the one I know. It's the one I remember.
Yeah, don't be putting words in our mouth.
Let's
we know how
down.
terrible it is.
Like I watched it recently, and it's not good. Like
it's not good.
That's okay. So I would watch the animated series after school and stuff, and my mom took us. This is actually Batman Forever was the third movie I saw in theaters. The first was Hocus Pocus, I do believe.
Oh, fuck yeah!
And then I was 3. I don't really remember. But the second one was Muppets Treasure Island, I do believe.
Right on.
And then this was the third one. Another fun side story. My adolescent or my toddler going to the movies thing. We would go to the local theater, and the 2 times Hocus Pocus and Muppets Treasure Island, we had to leave early because both times I managed to wedge popcorn kernels so far up my nose that we had to go to the emergency room to get them pulled out.
Nice.
Damn, 2 movies in a row?
Yeah, I know. I was surprised they I think they thought, well, he's 5 now, maybe he'll understand. But yeah, no, that's the third movie I ever saw in theaters. And my mom took us because she knew that I liked the Batman show, Batman animated series, and I remember really liking this movie as a 5-year-old kid. I thought,
of course,
it was really cool. And that that dude with the jaw that played Batman was really awesome. I thought Jim Carrey was exactly who I wanted Jim Carrey to be. And yeah, I don't think it's a good movie now. I think it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. But back being a 5-year-old, it was pretty awesome.
Because you go back and you watch it now as an adult. You watch it from a 10-year-old or younger's point of view, and it's the greatest movie ever. You watch it as a late 20s, 30-year-old guy, and you're like, Dr. Chase Meridian literally is probably more fucked up than the villains because all she wants to do and all she's here for is to literally fuck Batman. And and of course, pre-Titanic in 97 and 95, where she comes out on the balcony wearing nothing but the white silky bed sheets. This movie is the reason why I have white bed sheets. I try to explain this to my wife.
What?
She does not explain this. She does not understand it. Because my wife and I were trying to figure out what kind of bed sheets we wanted when we moved into her house. I was like, white. She's like, why? And I was like, Batman Forever. I'm 28 when we moved in, and I said that comment.
Do you just?
It's because
do you want her to wrap her body in there, and in the white sheets?
Guys, we have done that. Thank you. So it's amazing. White sheets. Oh my God, that was so good. But okay, so it's just I don't know. Batman Forever. It's not a good movie. You guys are right. It's not a good movie, but it had everything that the '90s was asking for, and the old guy, right? Speaking from a 10-year-old's point of view, the old guy playing a Two-Face guy. Who's this guy at this point, right? Did you guys care about this guy named Tommy Lee Jones? Was he anything compared to Jim Carrey, or was Jim Carrey better than this old guy, Tommy Lee Jones, at that time?
Oh,
You know what I mean?
Yeah, Jim Carrey is way better. I mean, I know that from a young age, I was exposed to Ace Ventura 2, The Mask, and Dumb and Dumber. Even some episodes of In Living Color. My uncle,
Oh, my God.
I had one of my mom's brothers. He was super into Jim Carrey. Like he loved Jim Carrey, and then the Halloween film series. Like those were his jam.
Huh.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
What was the question again?
No,
Jim
No, I was
Carrey
just- I was
versus
just-
Tommy Lee Jones.
Oh, I knew it.
Back-
I was trying to figure out something because I actually kind of have a problem with the both of them. As much as I like Jim Carrey, like going back now, they both are just different forms of the Joker. Because like that's actually not the demeanor of Two-Face, nor is it the demeanor of the Riddler. But they both are so over the top and zany, which I get it. It matches the world that Schumacher was creating. But when you just watch it, it just feels awkward because those are not how I picture the characters being. And there's been other instances where those two characters are done much better. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. No, I understand
But, I
completely.
mean- But
Am I going to talk, Jordan? Is it my turn now?
I was going to say that Jim Carrey said joygasm in the movie, but I mean, go ahead.
I'm messing with you, Jordan. I know I got very
I'm
curt
sorry.
there, and I apologize. No,
No,
I
I'm
understand.
sorry.
Yeah, because they're trying to get away from Jordan mentioned earlier, the whole my kids should be watching this thing. There's a dude eating a live fish, that sort of stuff. So
Right.
they wanted to create something that was more attractive to kids, as colorful and campy and wild and out there. And Jim Carrey's in this movie. He's pretty much a cartoon.
He's great.
He's
Yeah,
like it's what a child would when they kind of want. I'm not going to say that every child's going to want that because every child's different. But like I think, when I was a kid, I thought it was really great.
Yeah, and I think when I was a kid, the thing that blew me away most with Forever, and I think why I loved it so much, and going back to it not too long ago, I realized how actually kind of awesome this moment is, and it's when Two-Face and Riddler actually figure out the identity of Batman, and then they storm Wayne Manor, and then fucking Riddler blows up the Batcave, and I'm like, oh my god, no one's done this. The Joker's not even fucking done this. And I can remember as a kid, like, grabbing the sides of the couch, being like, this is it. He's done. He's done for. They can't make anything else after this. And it's just still now going back to it. When I watched, I was like, this is actually a badass moment. Not very many people in the Batman universe get to find out who Bruce is. And I know it's just such a pivotal, badass moment to me.
Very good point. That's a very good point. My last two questions before we get into the next movie for Batman Forever is, did you guys know that Drew Barrymore was in Batman Forever?
Yeah, she's one of the henchwomen with Debbie Mazur. Yeah.
For like a scene. It was weird. And Chris O'Donnell as Robin. Now, as a kid, he was probably the greatest guy in the world, but let's just, for sake of being movie critics here, is Chris O'Donnell a good Robin for the? I mean, yeah, no. Did you guys know?
I think
Adequate.
I think for the type of film they were trying to make, he's adequate.
Yeah.
I've never.
I don't.
Oh, you go ahead.
No, we've yet to I don't want to keep always going back to the animated series, but again, I think the best Robin we've had has been the animated series. I don't think we've had actually a strong Robin role yet in a live action depiction.
Oh, not Topher Grace. I'm not Topher Grace. What's his face from Third Rock from the Sun? Joseph Gordon-Levitt. There we go. Not him, huh?
I've never thought. Okay, so even as a kid, I never thought twice about Robin. Like he was never, like it was like, oh,
really?
Yeah, it's like even when I watched Batman and Robin, it's the same way I felt about Alicia Silverstone. I was like, okay, it's just another person, not a big deal. Because watching Batman Forever, I wanted to be the Riddler. I wanted to be Edward Nygma. I thought he was, I thought he was cool. It's like my favorite scene. Like as a kid, I think my favorite scene is when they are formulating their plan, or no, when it's when Riddler first goes into Two-Face's lair, and he's like just like walking all around the room, like throwing his arms all akimbo. There's a lot of talking. He's very animated. I thought it was really cool. But as an adult watching it recently, my favorite scene is actually the one where Edward Nygma is presenting his invention, the TV ray thing, whatever it's called. I don't remember what he calls it, where it like beams the TV shows into your brain.
Right.
And like that whole scene, Jim Carrey is impersonating Val Kilmer playing Bruce Wayne, and I think it's incredible.
I have a little bit of knowledge for I shouldn't say knowledge. It's more of a useless fact for Batman Forever. I found this out about a couple years ago from a friend, and you'll appreciate this, Jordan. H.R. Geiger originally did a design for the Batmobile for this movie. Did you know that?
No, but that's interesting. Really?
Yeah,
Geiger, huh?
yeah. He originally did a design for the Batmobile, but it was considered too absurd.
Of course it would be.
Which with him, with him being a surrealist artist, the movie was like, it's too out there. We can't use this.
It's probably
Yeah.
really phallic looking.
Yeah, there's exactly.
A bunch of penis. Okay, Geiger, we cannot have the Batmobile be a penis going into a vagina. This can't happen. No.
You guys remember the Saturday Night Live sketch, The Ambiguously Gay Duo?
Yes.
Ace and Gary?
Yes.
They had a dick car.
Yes, they did. It was a cartoon on Saturday Night Live that they played once in a while. It's called The Ambiguously Gay Duo. Clearly, Batman and Robin rip off kind of thing.
They were voiced by Stephen Colbert and Steve Carell.
Yes, and
Yeah.
they were just ambiguously gay.
Like, that's the
It
whole
was- it was
joke. They're
quite-
like 5-minute cartoons, and that's the whole joke is like, oh, okay. Because like how they would run in, they like Gary or Ace could fly, but Gary couldn't. So Ace would fly, and Gary would sit on his back, but he had this ring where he could shoot like power beams at people. So he's riding on Ace's back, shooting people with his laser ring thing. But how they draw it, it looks like he's like humping him and stuff. It's really fun.
It's really funny. It's really funny.
Just to let you guys know, real quick, we are almost approaching an hour.
Okay, cool. So, 1995 happens. We get Batman Forever. We're young kids. We're happy. Batman is everywhere. Batman! Da-da-da-da-da-da-da, Batman! We're excited. And then 2 years later, 1997 happens, and I'm 10 years old, and I quickly realized that the trailers that I saw, Men in Black and Alien Resurrection, were far better than Batman and Robin. Brandon and I talk about her so much because she was a big part of our life, and everybody that we talked to about her, like, that's her name, but that's what we called her. Our dad's mom, Grandma Hooberry, she would always take us to movies during the summer, and this was the summer movie. We were excited. I was 10, Brandon was 7, and we went to go see this in theaters, and this is where I fell out of love of Batman at 10 years old. I had no interest in Batman after this. This movie destroyed it for me. Do you guys feel the same way? This movie, Batman and Robin, I can't watch, guys. It's so heartbreaking.
Well, I'm going to come right out of the gate and say, because I was such an impressionable young age, I walked away from this movie kind of loving it. But you got to realize, I was 7. So, coming off the boot heels of the animated series, seeing something cartoon form and falling in love with that character, and then seeing that character brought to the big screen, that was my first Batman big screen moment. So, of course, I'm going to walk away with a high, you know what I mean? And not to mention, no matter what you say about the movie now, there's 2 things that you can say the movie did awesome at, and that's fucking color and fucking costuming. Because those 2 shit, oh my god, it's beautiful. As dumb and clunky as Arnie is as Mr. Freeze, that fucking suit's amazing. And as awkward as Uma Thurman can be as Poison Ivy, the way she came out the way the plant unfolded itself and she came out, and the lighting of green, just backlighting, it's gorgeous. It's a gorgeous movie, I think.
Okay. Best friend, best friend Ryan. What do you think?
Why is that? Why are you laughing at him? That's his opinion, man.
No, I'm not laughing at the opinion. I'm just remembering the scene of her stripping out of the monkey outfit. But when he was saying all these beautiful colors and it's a beautiful movie, and then she's stripping out of a monkey outfit, I'm just like, oh my god, that's awesome. The scene he presents.
Hey, I didn't say anything about intelligence. I just said
never leave home without the Bat MasterCard. Best friend Ryan, what do you think about Batman and Robin?
I didn't actually. Okay, so I watched Batman and Robin on video. I didn't actually go into theaters to watch it. And I remember my mom asked me if I wanted to go because we were going to go watch it. And I told her no because they had a tie-in with Pop-Tarts. They had like Batman and Robin Pop-Tarts and stuff. And I didn't like them. I thought they tasted horrible. So I did not want to go watch the movie. But I watched it.
Based off your breakfast food.
Pop-Tarts. Yeah. It was like, they messed up Pop-Tarts. What else are they going to mess up, you know?
God, you don't mess with a 90s kid and his Pop-Tarts.
But yeah, I don't mind Batman and Robin. When I watched it as a kid, I think I might have been like in 2000 or something when I was 10. I didn't care for it much. Like, it didn't leave an impression on me. Watching it as an adult, like, it's fun. Like, it's an awful movie, but it's like we were having a conversation earlier in the Messenger about shitty movies that are enjoyable. You know, because I was sending gifs of Samurai Cop and all that stuff. Like, this is a movie for me that feels like that. It's like a very expensive version of Samurai Cop, like an expensive, somewhat competently made version of Samurai Cop. I feel like that's very high praise, I think.
I agree. It's one of those movies where if you were to set up any kind of drinking game with this game, or with this movie, you'd be dead in the first 10 minutes. Because I shit you not, there is a drinking game out there strictly just for puns. And I'm just like, guys, that is not a game you survive.
No, yeah, because Schwarzenegger does it in the first 10 minutes.
It's insane.
I watched it a year ago recently, and it's just ridiculous because, you know, we got Batman '89, which was dark and brooding, and then we get Batman Returns, which is so dark that McDonald's pulls the toys because parents get pissed, and then we get a kind of semi-kiddie version Forever, but in this movie, it's like, okay, extreme butt close-up, extreme codpiece close-up, bat nipples, and then all of a sudden, what I found absurd was the movie felt like a TV episode of the week. Because Batman gets into his Batmobile, and Commissioner Gordon goes on to the bat screen in the Batmobile and says, Batman, we have a new villain on the loose. He calls himself Mr. Freeze. He's at the museum. Go stop him. And it's like, what?
Well, that's kind of
really?
like the 60s TV show.
I was just about to mention that.
Yeah, because
Yes.
he has the red phone, the mayor picks up and says, Batman, we need you. And then he goes and does it.
Yes.
Honestly,
Yeah,
all Batman and Robin needed was just onomatopoeia, and it would have just been a 97 version of Adam West and Burt Ward.
Which would have been perfect because the 90s was all about being ironic, so
I think
there
the
you go,
thing
right?
for me that gets me about this is that this is not a Batman movie. Like, you could pretty much take Batman out of it and it would be the same movie.
It's plant women, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
I can see
he
that.
only plays into the plot because he's there.
Right.
You know, if
You
you
could
just
literally replace him with any other hero.
Yeah, if you just sent Robin in his place, it would be the same movie. Because Alicia Silverstone, because Batgirl gets the whole sad arc with Alfred dying, and then Robin is pining after her. Freeze is trying to resurrect his dead wife, and Ivy is trying to get vengeance on what is it? Not stock market. What's she trying to do?
She's trying to rid the world of humans so the plants can take over because Mother Nature is
Men
pissed.
specifically, right?
Men, yes, but we already saw this movie last week. It's called Mother.
But like, yeah, so like none of those plots need to have Batman around.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, that's interesting. I didn't think
Yeah,
of
that's
it that
very
way,
true.
but you could literally replace him with anyone. You could take Batman out and put in the Shadow, and you'd have the same movie.
You would. You're totally true. So before we get into the last segment of the show, I do want to talk about the one more thing with Batman and Robin. The one thing that was, to me, it was a thing. I don't know about you guys, but when we got Batman Returns, it was the same Batmobile as the first movie. Maybe some tweaks here and there, but by and large, the same Batmobile. But in Batman Forever, we got a new one. So I
Yep.
was excited to see what the new Batmobile was going to be in this movie. Worst Batmobile ever, guys? Yes? No?
No, I think the Tumbler's the worst.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
The Tumbler lacks any kind of creativity, and it's just one big hunk of military mess, and I don't like it.
I think that's
Best friend, right?
what makes I think that's what makes Tumblr really good, because he's trying to ground it in a sense of reality, and that is for that universe, that world he's built, what it needs. Like, he can't have a very
Right.
long, super hard to turn car.
No, I totally get it, but that's all. When we get into it, get into the next segment, that's also another reason why I'm just not really a fan of the Nolan movies. Is just, realistic just doesn't work. It doesn't mesh well for me, especially for Batman.
Well, you know what? Since you said that, let's get into it. Everybody who is listening to the show still, this is our final segment. Batman Begins in 2005. So, where was Jordan in 2005? Well, Batman and Robin completely destroyed my faith in Batman. I was done. And then in 2002, Spider-Man came out, and I became a Spider-Man fan because that movie was just badass. And then in 2004, we got Spider-Man 2, and, things were getting good. But then all of a sudden, I was dating a girl. It was the summer, perfect age for Batman Begins for me, guys. Batman Begins came out the summer from graduating high school and going into college, my freshman year. So this movie was everything that I wanted it to be. I was not excited for it. The trailers did not excite me for it, because I was like, oh, another Batman movie. Oh, it's an origin story. Oh, fuck this. I'm 18 years old and I'm so cool. I don't care. You know what I mean? I had my own things to worry about. But the girl that I was dating at the time said, I want to go see Batman. So we went to Subway, got her subs, went to see Batman Begins. And I ended up going to see it later on that night by myself again. Batman Begins was amazing for me. I mean, I was so hyped because of that movie. At the end of it, like, oh my God, this is what Batman's supposed to be. What did you guys feel back in 2005 when Batman Begins came out? Did you guys share that same enthusiasm, or?
I actually thought, I think Batman Begins, watching up to that point, because I was 15 when I would have seen it in theaters, was really, really beautiful to look at, to watch. I thought that at that point, I had never seen a superhero movie made that way. Because if you look at, like he said, Spider-Man or the X-Men, like the big popular, or the Fantastic Four was really big that same year, they don't feel like that movie at all. Like, it feels like it's in a different genre.
Right. For me, even though where I stand with the Nolan movies is true. However, I do think Batman Begins is the best of the three. Only because, to me, it feels, if this world of being grounded, it feels the most grounded. And it almost trudges on that path of being a detective story, but not quite going into him utilizing any detective skills, which is something I would love to see one day. I would love just a hardcore film noir, straight edge Batman movie where he utilizes so much of his detective skills. We never really get to see that. But in Batman Begins, I don't know. Like, it's the movie where Christian Bale doesn't go into that awful voice. Like, it's a great voice that he uses in this one, and it never goes over the top. I like the whole arc of being trained. That's something we never got to see up close and personal before until now. I don't know. This one I really like a lot. There is some plot hole issues. The whole water vaporizer thing, it makes no goddamn sense because,
I think that whole
70% of your body is nothing but water, so you would vaporize as well.
I think that whole aspect, that whole thing, that concept is what keeps it feeling like a comic book movie. Like
Right, but that's yeah.
The whole. I think up to that point, up to the last act, doesn't feel like a comic book movie. It feels like a different movie. Then that is when it tries to bring it back in because they're, I feel like that's when the studio is like, hey, the audience, they're going to want this sort of thing.
Which is why it's a little so conflicting for me. It's because the whole water vaporizer is something you would only see and honestly, that's a device you would find in Batman and Robin. And, that type of the movie. But when this movie is trying to be so grounded, it teeters on trying to be comic booky and trying to be realistic, and it just threw me off.
That's interesting because my issue wasn't that. My issue was, is this guy who I've seen in 2 movies going to be good? Christian Bale, at this point in my life, at 18 years old, I was getting into Tarantino, I was getting into Aronofsky and David Fincher, I was getting into independent film at this point. I was going to go to school for film, so I started to get myself into film. So I seen American Psycho at this point, and also seen The Machinist. Okay. And I'm like, is really this guy is going to do it? I was so nervous because I'm like, oh my God. But I ended up really loving him.
Right. Well, I mean, it's the whole. Well, this was before Dark Knight, but it's what I call the Heath Ledger effect. You can't judge a person until, they get down and do it.
No, absolutely.
Yeah, I don't hate Christian Bale as Batman. There's a lot of great things he's done with it. And again, even though the Nolan movies don't work for me, neither does the Joel Schumacher's, and neither does Tim Burton really. It's just one of those things where it's whatever era you grew up in. That's what we've been talking about all night, and it's what people who are in their late teens or early 20s now, the Nolan movies it's going to be their Batman, and I'm never going to fault anyone for that because that's what they grew up with.
Gotcha. Well, on that note, I think we should end it with final thoughts on this one. Best friend Ryan, out of all the films that we discussed tonight, in your opinion, which one is the best Batman movie of all time?
Well, I mean, it's obviously Batman Begins, but I mean, this conversation doesn't have to be limited. I don't feel to just discussing the TV show and the movies because he's a comic book character. That's the first and foremost. He has a bunch of video games and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I know we don't have time to really jump into the whole comic book conversation. I think the best Batman anything is I really like The Long Halloween, the graphic novel.
Good call. Yeah,
I feel like there are people that will swear by The Dark Knight Returns, The Killing Joke, Arkham Asylum, those ones. I think that it is, to me, Long Halloween. To me, Long Halloween is like what I want Batman to be.
Right. That's a good choice.
Yeah, and I don't know if you guys, because I didn't read the graphic novels until I was in my late teens. That's when I started getting into them. And what would you guys choose?
Go ahead, Brother Brandon.
Well, out of the list that we talked about, I would say my favorite is Mask of the Phantasm. For reasons I stated previously when we were talking about it, is why. To me, that is the definitive Batman. That story arc is so near and dear to me, and I love it. But if we're going to go broader, how Ryan did, I'm going to go with a comic line too, and I'm going to go with Nightfall. I think that storyline is phenomenal. It's one of the first and only moments that we get Bane for who he really is. Bane is actually probably one of the smartest villains in the Rogues Gallery, and he's never treated as such, hardly. So, he has this whole ordeal of busting out all of the inmates and all of the Rogues Gallery on Bruce. Now, Bruce is dealing with a flu, and he refuses to take any help from anyone, and essentially Bane puts Bruce through a gauntlet. And so not only does he have to take down each of these villains, by the time he gets to Bane, he's so fucking worn out that he can't take on Bane. And that's such a strategic move. That's such a tactical move, and it's brilliant. And of course you have the phenomenal breaking of the bat, breaking his back, and you've got Bruce essentially building himself up again. It's a redemption story. To me, I think that's one of the pinnacle stories.
Huh. To go on the broader scale of things, one of my favorites, which you guys have all said that are very good. Long Halloween is good. Killing Joke is great, of course, and good as, and also Brandon, what you said, Nightfall. But for me, my favorite Batman story would have to be Death in the Family.
Okay. Robin.
That's when Robin gets killed by Joker. It's just something that it's like, okay, all bets are off. It's kind of like the same realm as Superman gets killed by Doomsday. It's like, oh my God, the heroes are actually dying. So, but Death of the Family is definitely one of my top favorite stories of Batman. If all of you guys liked our conversation of Batman, we may continue it for a part 2 in the future. We don't know, but there's a lot more to talk about. But that's all the time we have.
Oh, definitely. I think we could. I don't mean to cut you off, but I'd like to go off what Ryan said earlier. I think we could definitely do a part 2 because I'd really like to touch base with the video games and with the comics.
Oh my God! Wouldn't you love it? Because you love Arkham Asylum.
Oh God damn, I do.
But we wanted to take this time real quick to everybody to say thank you for downloading our episodes. You guys have been very supportive of us for the past month of us coming back, and we all wanted to say thank you so much. And to all of our Australia fans out there, thank you. And we'll have some Fosters, I guess, for you.
Crikey!
Yeah. But in all your Netherlands, my brotherhood, I'll get some wooden clog shoes for you guys. Thank you. But if you like this episode, make sure to check out this episode on movieguyspodcast.com, also on movieguyspodcast.podbean.com. Follow us on Twitter at movieguyspodcast and on iTunes. All you got to do is search Movie Guys Podcast, and all of our episodes are PodPast Presents in the title of the episode. So, but thank you so much, guys, for downloading us. Keep up the amazing downloads. We had a great time. And we'll be back next week for another awesome, fun, retrospective, looking back episode. So we'll be back next week. But Brother Brandon and Best Friend Ryan, thank you so much for joining us.
You're welcome.